Michigan gets the 52-17 win, absolutely dominating in the second half after trailing 17-14 at halftime. Michigan goes on a 38-0 run in the second half, really highlighted by 3 interceptions in the third quarter and just a flurry of touchdowns. Some of them created by the defense in some regard with those 3 interceptions. So let's kind of take a look, start off here this game with talking about just what happened and what went on. Michigan, as I said, won 38-0 in the second half. 21 first downs for Michigan in this game, which was decent, but only 5 for Rutgers. Michigan went 7 of 17 on third down. I'm going to look at my phone here. A couple stats here. J.J. McCarthy, 13 of 27. I think his worst game passing, but he wasn't helped by a few drops from tight ends, wide receivers, etc. from Michigan. Blake Corum, 28 for 109. Donovan Edwards, 15 carries, like I mentioned earlier in the week, expecting to get 15-plus carries, and he had 109 yards. 2 touchdowns on the ground from Corum, and then Edwards had 3 catches, 52 yards, a really nice touchdown catch for him. Cornelius Johnson also had a touchdown catch for Michigan. So Jim Harbaugh, 40-1 as Michigan's head coach when he has a 100-yard rusher. So I'm working from home. This is actually my kitchen that I'm in right now. So, show some love, right? We could have waited till tomorrow to put out this video, but give me a subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel. It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. And remember, we'll be live on Tuesday night, again, 6:45 Eastern time for the second college football playoff rankings reveal. Alabama was going to overtime when we started filming this with LSU, but remember, Clemson lost big today, and Ohio State struggled. Tennessee lost pretty dominant fashion. They lost to Georgia. So there's a chance Michigan pops up to number 3. Pretty good chance there. And then maybe even over Ohio State, Michigan could be number 2 in the polls, although I do think Georgia will be number 1. So we'll be live Tuesday night. Make sure you guys join us. Let's talk about my 5 instant reactions. Number 1 is the injuries. So let's just go over them really quickly. I told you on Thursday, Jamon Green, so we knew that, although it did sound like he did make the trip, but I didn't see him anywhere near the field, anywhere through that game. Starting left tackle Ryan Hayes is out. Jalen Harrell, starting safety Makari Page. Khalil Mullings is out. Roman Wilson, starting wide receiver, out. Trevor Keegan was already out with injury. He's been out for the last couple of games. And then, Trente Jones was. Trevor Keegan left the game in the fourth quarter late on while limping and didn't return. So hopefully that's not much more than just getting dinged up a little bit there. But if he is out, that gives Michigan another injury on the offensive line. Down 2 starters today, and really down 3 starters after Keegan left on earlier in the game. So give me your one-word reaction down in the comments. Michigan wins 52-17 over Rutgers. Mine is, one word's really tough, but ultimately I would say satisfying, although pretty frustrating in the first half. So satisfying was the end result. Frustrating was the one word I'd probably use for the first 34 minutes of the game until Michigan started the onslaught of scoring with about 8-9 minutes left in the third quarter. Donovan Edwards played out a little differently than I thought, although he did get his 15 carries, which I was told back Wednesday, Thursday was the goal for him today. But Blake Corum still had plenty of carries today too. I think he said he had 20 carries for Blake. 100-yard game for Blake, another 2 touchdowns. Look, with Hendon Hooker looking mediocre at best against Georgia, and then C.J. Stroud looking terrible in admittedly 50-mile-per-hour winds against Northwestern, I think it's very legit to say, not being a homer, that Blake Corum is right there, 1, 2, 3, right with those guys for the Heisman Trophy. And who's to say that the Heisman Trophy doesn't also just get crowned to the winner of that Ohio State-Michigan game, which is 3 weeks from tonight, November 26th. So something interesting to think about there. Huge game for Edwards, though. 3 catches, had a touchdown catch. Went to him twice down that left sideline to get the scoring going there in the third quarter. Give me a go blue in the comments if you're satisfied with this win. I haven't seen any Rutgers people, but I'll tell you what, the opposing fan bases have been pretty annoying in our comments. I'm not sure what the deal is, if they're flash mobbing us or something like that. But if you're a Michigan fan, give me a go blue, drowned out all the haters and losers, of which there are many, in our comment section. So Donovan Edwards, his huge game was my number 2 overreaction. Number 3, slow start for Michigan, but what a great third quarter that was. Highlighted by Michael Barrett. a true Michigan man. Love everything about Mike Barrett. Has stuck around, has been in this program for a long time. Hell, I remember way back in like 2019, him getting in on special teams and making passing plays and stuff like that. I think he threw a pass. It wasn't actually, maybe he caught a pass in 2019, like the Army game or something like that. But he's been around forever and has been a leader of this team. Great to see him get that interception and that interception return for a touchdown. Something just to comment on there. We're talking a little defense there and what they did. Special teams really struggled in the first half. You had a punt blocked where Michael Barrett, it's kind of what I was thinking there. He struggled on that one. He missed and whiffed on a block. He was, blocking outside. Guy cut inside for that one. And then Jake Moody, right, missing 2 long field goals, uncharacteristic of him. So glad to see that it didn't really impact Michigan in any way in this game, but closer game, maybe those plays are the difference between a win and a loss, between a win in a Big Ten championship or not. College football playoff game against better teams, those probably hurt Michigan a lot more than they did tonight. Who was your team MVP today? Let me know. I think the biggest candidates there are Donovan Edwards, Michael Barrett with the 2 interceptions, Blake Corum with the 2 touchdowns are my 3 game balls I would have given to tonight. But I'm going to go with Donovan Edwards. He did 2 things that really helped Michigan. Sparked the offense in the third quarter when they absolutely needed it, and he was able to take the load off of Blake Corum, who's been carrying the ball 25, 27, 30, 33 times, etc. over the past 5 weeks. So Donovan Edwards gets my team MVP, my 3 game balls, Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, and Mike Barrett, Michigan's starting linebacker. So let me know down in the comments who your MVPs, and hell, add the game balls there down if you want to as well. Number 4 instant reaction is Rutgers offense stinks. Now, we know they were already without starting running back Sam Brown, missing his second game after being out for the season 2 weeks ago. But the quarterback, now, I did underestimate him, right? I saw a few passes from his first start last week, but this was his second start as a redshirt freshman. And he had a couple of nice passes, but those 3 interceptions, a couple of them were really bad passes. Take a look at his stats really quick. Ended up 14 of 29, did Wimsat, 166, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. That Rutgers offense, scored 17 points, but I think they were really aided just from perception and momentum early on from that punt return. As we're talking Rutgers, 14 rushing yards for that Rutgers offense on 19 carries, so less than a yard per attempt. Michigan, 282 yards, which I'll have to go look back early in the week, Thursday, Wednesday, something like that. I think I predicted right around there, 282, 275, something like that. Michigan, 433 total offensive yards, 184 Rutgers. Rutgers outpassed Michigan 166 to 151. So, their quarterback making the second start, I wasn't expecting them to really score at all. They ended up scoring 10 points on offense, which frankly is more than I thought they would. I thought they might only get a field goal tonight. So did one up and scored on a touchdown pass. Last but not least, the passing game in general, the passing game and play calling on third down, and then the play calling and passing game kind of flip-flopping them in the red zone just continues to boggle my mind. It's almost like Michigan sometimes is trying not to score. Look, they get those first 2 touchdowns. They needed, I believe, 9 carries inside the 5-yard line, and then back-to-back, first down, second down, third down, fourth down. You get Blake Corum crashing into the line, and then another fourth down to get a touchdown. He had a J.J. McCarthy, and even at that, McCarthy had to get shoved into the end zone to score a touchdown, there. So I think Michigan's play calling in a lot of ways, but most notably in the red zone, is a big time area of opportunity for improvement on this team. It didn't really matter tonight again, but if you get inside the red zone 4, 5, 6, 7 times against Ohio State and can't get the ball in the end zone and have to go for fourth down, it's not going to come as easy. Now, Michigan was, I believe, 5. At one point, they were 5 of 6 in the red zone. I think it must end up being 6 of 7 red zone touchdowns and red zone trips, and then 1 field goal from Jake Moody. So better, but they all seem to be really tough to get. J.J. McCarthy finally got a few passing touchdowns in the red zone. It seems like it's been a while since that's happened, honestly, since he's had multiple red zone passing touchdowns in a game. One thing to note, though, I will go back to the stats here on my phone. Nice to see some wide receivers, right? Nice to see some wide receivers that we haven't seen in a while. Tyler Morris, J.J. McCarthy's former high school teammate. He's a true freshman. Colston Loveland had a catch. But then we saw, who else? Marion Walker. Michigan went deep to him early on. Other wide receiver thoughts. I thought that Andrell Anthony reverse in the red zone was just, again, what are we doing here? So I'll ask you guys one more question to wrap up tonight's show. Grade the offensive play calling tonight from Michigan. Give them an A, B, C, D, or F. I'm honestly going to go C+, because the first half was that bad, despite some nice play calls in the second half. When it counted, when the game was still in jeopardy, right, a one-score game or down early on, Michigan's offensive play calling stunk. And as such, I'm going to go with a C+ for the game. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think, A, B, C, D, or F. Give a plus, give a minus. All right, I'm going to head down to work tomorrow, so I'll be in the normal studio setup for an Overreaction Sunday. So get at me on Twitter. Let me know what things, and in the comments here on YouTube, what things you guys are thinking, some overreactions, just things to think about, so I can start putting that show together in the morning. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Reward me from work from home, whatever, no big deal. And reminder, if you subscribe, you can join. We can do it anyways, but reminder to join our live show Tuesday night, college football playoff rankings. Could Michigan be number 2? We will see. But have a great Saturday night. I will see you guys on Sunday. Until then, go Blue.